So I want to talk about how I've had in my whole lifetime over 30 jobs, and I still never felt satisfied. I still never was where I wanted to be. I still was managed to, not have the finances I wanted. Um, it was the fact that each job I found a flaw in. I found something wrong with, but also I was never comfortable because I did not belong there. I didn't belong there because every time I started a job, I got excited when I got the job. Even if I didn't want it in the first place, I got it. I worked because I had to provide, had to help my family. But when I started, I noticed I start hating it. I started slowly not going. I started slowly missing days, calling in because I wanted to, stay in bed, or I didn't feel like I was even being valued at these jobs. I've had all types of jobs. Like, I don't know how to explain. I've had all types of jobs. I have so much experience and skills just by having these jobs. Um, but at the same time, I was super inconsistent because I would go from one job to another to another. And it really frustrated me. It made me feel like, I'm a failure, whatever. But when I was at these jobs, I noticed that I was the one that people took advantage of. I'd be the one that worked extra hard while other people who had already been there, or they got favoritism if they were new, whatever the case is. There was always cliques at these jobs. My concerns weren't being heard. There was a few, decent jobs here and there, but my circumstances had changed, so I didn't go to those jobs anymore, or some of those jobs weren't around anymore. But anywho, the reason why I'm telling you this is because depression is real. PTSD is real. Post or not just PTSD. What's the other one? Um, Postpartum is real. All these things, anxiety, stress, um, just, I don't know how to explain it. It all triggers each other. So, all these things had happened to me, and I didn't even know because I didn't take the time out of my life or my day to reflect or take care of myself. I just kept going, going, going because I've been in survival mode all my life, even till this day. So it causes anxiety and fear and all types of issues, and it stores in your body, and it starts hurting your joints. It starts making you fatigued, starts making you sick and unmotivated. And for me, it made me gain weight and made my hair start to gray, and I'm only in my late 20s. Like, it it has triggered so many things in my life because I didn't understand what those things were, or that they were even happening to me. Um, so these things really, really happen to people. And it's not a joke. It's not something to play about. You don't know what people are going, what's going on in their life. But yet people choose to still judge each other and act like they know them or tear them down. And it's sad because something you could do instead is try to encourage each other, uplift each other. You don't need to know somebody's story, but just being kind to them, it makes a big difference. And not saying you have to be kind to, like, you just got to be kind to everybody, no matter what they look like, how they make you feel, what they have said to you. God says, love your enemies. We may not like them. We may not like what they do. That doesn't mean you have to be friends with them. It just means you have to love them. It doesn't mean put yourself in a harmful situation. It does not mean that, that, okay, go put those away, please. It does not mean, okay. It does not mean, go hang out with that, negative person or hurtful person. It just means be kind to them. Um, you know, we need to do better with teaching each other and helping each other, bring awareness, bring understanding to these these serious things that people go through. It's not just women who go through this, men go through this too. And I feel like nowadays, because everybody's so online and over the internet, that's so much easier to disconnect from each other. It's so much easier to be not as social because you're not in front of their face. People are behind a screen all day, every day, saying whatever they want, not understanding what their words have consequences, and that it could hurt somebody's day, it could hurt somebody's life. People take their lives for these things, because they don't feel like, and they feel alone. I understand that feeling so much. Being alone, you're never alone because you have God. But in the physically, when you're going through these things, you don't understand them, and you may not think you're actually that person that has these things going on with them. It makes you just makes you a person you don't want to be. Like, it may make you more irritable, it may make you forget things, like fog brain or whatever you want to call it. It may make you hyper vigilant. It may make you like not trust anyone, it may make you just disconnect from the world, disconnect from loved ones, family, friends, anybody, because you're going through this. But you're not alone, because there's so many people out there in this world that go through it. They may not speak about it because they're ashamed, or they just don't understand that they're going through that. They may think, oh no, that can't happen to me. I'm not one of those people. But you can be going through that, even if you don't know it. I personally am in mental health counseling. It has helped me. I had to find the right counselor, though. I had so many other counselors that I tried, and they were not the right fit at all. Actually, it hurt me more. It was more harmful to me. So it's very, very important that you find the right counselor, which I'm thankful I was able to, because you have to let it out. You have to get it out. You cannot store it. I stored it for so many years, and it just kept piling up, and my body started reacting in negative ways. I've just, needed help, and I didn't understand what it was that I was going through until I was in counseling. But anywho, my point is, talk to somebody. If you're gonna be online, let's make a group, or let's encourage each other, talk to each other as if you would in person. You never know, you could maybe find friends, or people that you have shared common interests with. You don't need to get on there and start trolling and talking negative and tearing people down and making fun of people because they're going through hard things in their life. They won't go through them forever. Everybody's gonna have something going on in their life at some point. And when it's your turn, the negative people who have negative things to say, when it's your turn, you're gonna feel like, wow, I should have never been that person to tear people down. I should have never talked like that to those people, because now I'm going through my own stuff. And you know what? I understand what that person went through. Now I wish people wouldn't tear me down. Now I wish people were there for me to encourage me and uplift me. That's why I say it's so easy to do the wrong thing, but try to do the right thing. Try to love each other. Try to protect each other, care for each other. Just be a kind person to each other. This world is already going through so much. It's going to continue. It's not going to stop. And it's our job. We are the people who live in this world. We have to be around each other. We need to be the ones to make this world better. And not saying that, it's going to be easy. But if so many of us want that change to happen, let's do it. What is stopping you? Don't stop for another year and put it on your list and say, this year I'm going to be this person. No. A lot of us make lists at the beginning of the year. For me, I didn't accomplish all the things I wanted in the beginning of January 2024. I still have a lot of improvement. I am not a perfect person. I will not be ever a perfect person. But you know what? I can try. I can try to be a better person. I can try to be, walking in my purpose. I could try to be more like God. I could try to, do the things that He tells us we should be doing. I don't know. I don't know who needs to hear that. But I hope it helps somebody out there. I hope that you understand that what you're going through is heard and recognized and understood, and you're not alone, and that you're valued. It takes a lot to share your testimony. It takes a lot to be brave and just come on a platform or come. I'm not a speaker. I hate being on camera. I am not a person who likes to public speak or anything. I've had to be outside of my comfort zone because I know all those jobs that I've had did not work out because it was not meant for me. I want to do something bigger than that. I have a goal, a dream that I want to do. I just don't know how to go about doing it yet. I don't know where to start. I still have my issues that I have to work through, like it's a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. I know that in time I will get there. It's not a rush. It's the process, it might be discouraging sometimes here and there, but I know at the end of the day, I'm going to work through it. I'm going to get through it. Everything in my life that I've gone through, whether it was horrific, whether it was, I didn't think I would come through it. I did. Up until this point, I still did. When I was in those situations, I did not feel like it was ever going to end. I did not feel like I was ever going to get through it. All types of negative thoughts came through my mind. But I got through it. And you know what? That was because I had faith. Because I learned to not look at myself like, I don't want to say it in a bad way, but not look at myself as a victim, even when I was. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to understand that. But you are stronger than you think. You may not, it doesn't have to be physical. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You are stronger than you think. God will not put things on you that He knows that you cannot handle. He puts things on us because He knows we can. He knows that anything we go through in our life is because some of our choices that we make, and also, that He has a path for us. And if we align with Him, we will walk through that path. And there will be tests and trials. Don't get me wrong. But you will be glad you went through those, because it will be a part of your testimony. It will be a part of something impactful that you did in this lifetime to help somebody, to be an outreach, to be not necessarily famous, but to be that one person who made that change in this life. If you want to make an impact in this life while you're still here, do something to be remembered by. Just be a light to somebody's life. I've been blessed so many times. When I thought I couldn't make it through something, God put somebody or something in my life at that point in time to bless me and my family, to help us through that situation. And you know what? That's given me so much faith and hope that, you know what? He loves me. He loves you. He loves all of you. Even the people you don't like, guess what? He loves them too. He died for all of us. Even the most awful person in the world you can think of. He loves them too, and he died for their sins too. He already knew what they was going to do before it happened. We are just now living it and seeing it. We are not good people. We're good people because we want to think we are, but we all sin. We are good people, yes. We're not horrible people, but what I'm saying is we all sin. None of us should judge each other, because you know what? A sin is a sin is a sin is a sin. And you know what God says? He who is without sin cast the first stone. And none of us should be doing that. Nobody should be casting a stone, because no one is perfect. You don't know why that person is doing what they're doing. You don't know, it doesn't mean when people do awful things, that doesn't make them a bad person. It means the choice that they made, or the choices that they made, was bad. Not necessarily that they were bad. And even those people we have to forgive. We don't have to be friends with them. We don't have to be liking them. We don't have to be around them. But we have to forgive them. If you do not forgive the things that have happened to you, or the things that people have done to you, you will be stuck. It will hurt you. It will continue to be with you until you let it go. Not saying you have to forget about it. You will not forget about it. I don't forget about my things that have happened to me. But you know what? Once you forgive, you don't have to go face to face with them and say, I forgive you. You just have to do it internally. It will release so much weight off your shoulders. It will help you look at things differently. It will help you be open-minded. It will help you be able to recognize it if it does happen again, or recognize situations that you don't want to be in. It will help you be more wise, and help you shed a light on somebody else's life, to be there for them, to be an inspiration, to teach wisdom, especially to the younger generation. I feel like as a culture, we do not do that good. We don't do that well. The older people, it's more of a selfish time in life right now. I feel like people are so cautious, and they only, so much bad things have happened. And I feel like the older culture too, everybody, not just the older culture, but everybody's kind of looking out for themselves. And you know what? I understand. But we need to all, each generation needs to teach the younger generation better, to teach them the right things from the wrong things, to teach them about, not just, it's about money. Money is not everything. Teach them the positivity. Teach them how to be a good human being. Teach them how to be a role model. Teach them how to be independent and self-sufficient. Teach them how to, have good mental health. You may not have it yourself, but that doesn't mean there's not wisdom you can't shed on them, or help them, talk to them. So everybody needs somebody to talk to. That's just how we are as human beings. If you bottle it all in and store it for many, many, many years, like I did, guess what? It's going to hurt you more in the end. It's going to cause more issues. And it's going to make you just this person you don't want to be. So what I'm saying is, all these jobs that I have been through, I know I went off topic a little bit. All these jobs that I have been through I have learned something from each one of them. But it showed me that the inconsistencies weren't because, I'm being lazy, or I'm being, I'm being ungrateful because this opportunity came to me. No, it wasn't those things. It was because it was not meant for me. Every time I would go, I would be miserable at these jobs. I did not like being in these positions because it just made me feel out of character. It made me feel out of place. It made me feel um like it's almost not good enough for me. Like, even with, I've had some, pretty decent jobs that paid well. It wasn't even the money for me. It was the fact that I was in survival mode all the time. And then I would go to these jobs and work and be depressed and irritated and trying to figure out all these different things I had to incorporate around my schedule, with my children, with different things. And it would just became too much for me. It became too much for my brain to think. And even when I organized and wrote everything down, checked things off, I was still not satisfied. I needed something that I can do for myself on my own, like, on my own time, like a business, or work for myself, or, start doing the things I'm very passionate about, which is like trying to make this world a better place. Um, and that's what motivated me. When I thought of all these things I want to do with my life, when I thought about all the things like how I can help people in different ways, it fueled this fire in me. And I knew right then that that is what I'm supposed to be doing. It's not about going to these 9 to 5 jobs, or let me hold 2 to 3 jobs just because, just to make ends meet. It's not about that, because I was still unhappy. Didn't matter how much money I was making. I was still broke. I was still unhappy because my mind, wasn't right. I was still depressed. I was still unmotivated. I let I allowed myself to have eating disorder, because of my mental health was bad. I still have this issue to this day, though. I'm working through it. Whether it's overeating or barely eating, or not happy with what I see in the mirror, you know what I mean? Like my weight, my body pain, like it's just one thing after another. And it's a cycle. It's going to continue happening if I don't fix it now. But I notice about myself that I'm not a person who can do those type of jobs and be happy at. It's just not for me. It's not my purpose. It's not my what God has for me. It's not my purpose. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing. You don't need to go to a job just because you have to work to bring in income, of course. But if you can and you are able, while you are working, start working on your purpose. Start little, small steps. It doesn't have to be a big step. Start working. It will increase that positivity, that energetic side of you, that motivation side of you, to be like, you know what? This is for me. This is what I have in mind. And you might use that money that you're working at the job that you don't really care for to invest in yourself, invest in your businesses that you really want to get off the ground. Try to help yourself, get up and I'm still working on this. I haven't done it yet. But get up in the morning at a, reasonable time. Eat, work out, sit down for 10 to 15 minutes a day and in solitude and pray. That's the most important thing you can do, is lay in your bed when you wake up. And before you even start your day, you can even do it with your eyes closed. You can do it with your eyes open. Take your breath. Take the breath God has given you. Inhale, exhale, open your eyes, look around. He gave you all these as a blessing, as a gift. He works miracles every day before you even wake up. Waking up is a miracle. Waking up is a blessing to have another day on this earth. So, thank God. Wake up, thank God before you even do anything. Start your day positive, on a positive note, if you can. I know it's not always easy. I know we sometimes overthink things and do too much when we're running around and, trying to get out the door and whatnot. I understand. I go through it too. Try, though. Try as much as you can. If you have more positive days in your week than negative, trust me, it will be something you will work harder towards because you want that feeling. You want that energy. Be more attentive to yourself. I'm learning this. How to self-care, how to, take out time for myself because I do everything for everybody else. And I sometimes don't even think about myself. If I do think about myself, I think about myself last. And I know as a parent, that's what we do. But you do have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of others. Because once all that fuel runs out of you, everything pours out of your cup is empty. Your fuel is gone. You don't have no more energy for yourself. You don't have no more time for yourself. But you got to make time in your daily schedule to just do one little thing for yourself. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to take a lot of time or money or anything. Do something for yourself. Just take care of yourself. You are important. You are loved. You are protected. You are God's creation. You have a purpose on this earth. And once you find what your purpose is, it will mean so much more to you, and it will make you want to get up each day and do what you're supposed to do. Do what you are called to do. None of this is going to be easy. I'm still in the process of doing all this. I'm not perfect. But I understand what makes me happy, what makes me have joy in my heart, what makes me want to get up. It's not all those jobs. I've held 2 to 3 jobs at a time. It was just more energy burning out of me. Nothing coming in, nothing pouring into me. It did not make me happy. It did not make me fulfilled or secure. None of that. I was still in survival mode. It just made me more depressed. Having one job still made me depressed. It did not matter. It's the fact that once I found what it is that my purpose is, I know that's something that just makes me so excited to see that come together and that actually come to fruition and make it happen. And I know God will make it happen. He will. If I put in the work, He will make it happen. He will open doors and opportunities to make it happen. Because it's my purpose. Because it's the purpose He has for me. And all we have to do is have faith and trust in Him. Talk to Him. Thank Him. Just be you. Find yourself. Love yourself. Encourage yourself. Motivate yourself. Talk to others. Uplift each other. Don't take what other people say over the internet personally. They will try to harm you. You don't need people like that in your life. You don't need people like that to even engage in that. You don't need to give it any breath. Give it any attention. You don't. Who cares? Just be you. Love you. Trust God. I hope this helped somebody. I hope you take some of these things to heart and understand. And that, that you're able to use some of these things in your day-to-day life, or understand yourself better, or maybe it's somebody else that you're trying to understand where they're coming from. It's not easy. Just help each other. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.